Hi guys, I'm back. And this time I'm gonna take you on a quick walkthrough of our Canvas course for environmental science this semester. Since we won't be meeting in person together, I wanna make sure that you're really clear on how to navigate around to find the resources and assignments that I'll be posting for our class. So I'm going to share my screen here, and then let's navigate over to Canvas. Okay, so this is a browser, happens to be Google Chrome, that's open to your Canvas course, or in my case, to my Canvas course. So far, it has 2 courses that I have published, and I need to publish a lot more by the end of today. But when you open up your Canvas, you should be able to see something like this. If you don't have access to a Canvas site, you should go to www.frc.edu/student services, and there's a link to get set up with a network account. But that is what you need to do to be able to get on Canvas. Your login is the same login as it is to log into your email, to log into your Canvas, to log into my FRC, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully that's something that you've been able to get into. If you haven't, you can also reach out to me as well. Also go down to the library, they're pretty helpful. But at this point, I'm just assuming that you're able to get into Canvas. And I have mine set up in card view, which I strongly recommend. If you go up here to the top right, there's these 3 little ellipses, and you can actually switch it around to change it into like the list of assignments that you have and whatnot. I think that is a much less effective way. I think, and I'm pretty sure all instructors would agree with me, this card view is really the view that you want to be looking at. So again, it's these top buttons here that you can change. So we're going to go into environmental science, CRN 3116, or Intro to Environmental Science, Environmental Studies 142. So we'll click on that assignment, and then we'll see that the home page will pop up. And let me just quickly change this into student view, because it looks a little bit different for you guys than it does for me, although pretty similar. And what you'll see is that at the top, there are the most recent announcements posted. So I have it set up so that the last 2 announcements that I posted will always show up at the top of the homepage. Also on the homepage, there's just some basic information about the course, some basic information about what we're going to be learning about this semester, how humans both depend on environmental systems and are also altering them in significant and sometimes unsustainable ways. So that's what we're going to be learning about. It has a way to email me. Here's the phone number for my office, a link to the syllabus, and then it has some links to what I want you guys to do every week. And the first one is watching this video, which hopefully you are doing. And then the next one is to check on our weekly learning summary, which I'm going to show you in 1 second. Basically each week in the announcement section, which you can go over here to the left and click on announcements to see. So you can see all the announcements from this announcement tab. Also, as we just said, on the home page, you can see the most recent assignments. So the first announcement just basically says, welcome to environmental science. The next one is for week 1. And if you click on this learning summary, it is going to give you an outline of all the things that you're going to be working on this week. So we're not meeting in person. We're also not meeting at a specific time virtually. Instead, you're going to be working independently to learn, to read, to watch videos, to complete assignments, etc. So each week, I'm going to tell you some of what my goals are. I'll try to give you some tips. I'll tell you what it is that you need to be working on. So in this case, week 1, you need to be working on getting your textbook. There's lots of information about the textbook and different ways that you can access it. And then it will talk about these different modules, and I'll show you the modules in a minute. And basically, you're going to be working within these different modules each week to watch videos. So it'll first of all tell you what are the videos that you need to watch. So you're watching this video about navigating Canvas. There's also a video about me that's very brief, just like 2 minutes. You need to read. In this case, we're focusing on the course syllabus and some other resources and tips page that I have linked in the modules. And then you have assignments to submit a discussion post introducing yourself, to take a welcome or a syllabus quiz about basic course information, and then to do a time block planning activity that's asking you to kind of plan out your week and be realistic about what time you have to devote to different tasks. So that's all within the course introduction module. And then the science module is the next module. And there's also some assignments there. There's a video to watch and there's some basic reading from our textbook to do, but there's actually no assignments that are due in that module for this week. In almost every week, we'll only be working out of one module at the time. But since this week is the first week, there's both information just about introducing the course and then also some information about getting started with our first topics. So also there's an environmental science specific office hour that will be held each Thursday in Forestry 400, which is also Lower Main 400. That's the classroom that's not the chem lab, but it's across from the chem lab. It's in the Lower Main building and also happens to be next to my office. Anyway, all this information is contained within the weekly learning summary. So this is really the place that you need to start. I'm not going to email this information to you. Canvas is the place where you need to be looking to find this information. You'll also notice not all the reading or all the assignments are linked within this document. This is just kind of a basic written overview for you to understand what you need to do. If you want to print it out or whatever else, you can have it with you. When you're ready to actually do the work for the week, you want to go to the module section, which is over here on the left. And that's where actually all the course content is organized. And so you can see each of these things right here is a module. And again, most weeks we'll be working out of one module at a time. This week we'll be working out of two. When you're done with a module, you can click this a little arrow button to close it up so it doesn't take up as much space, but you want to leave it, make sure that it's open so that you can see what's in it when you are working on it. The first thing that I'll list within each module is the learning summary, which is identical to that announcement that I already posted. So I'll just show you, this is all the same information. So you shouldn't need to reread that if you already saw it in the announcement, but that's just another place to see that content. And then for this particular week, there are certain resources that I want you to look at. So there's our course syllabus that you'll need to read through. This contains all the information about the course, like how to get in touch with me, what are the expectations, what's the class description, what are our student learning outcomes, what are you going to be graded on, class policies, and then a general outline for what we're going to expect during the class. So that's in the course syllabus. And you should take some time to look through that. There's also something which says student resources and academic tips. So there's some pages for basic tips for learning online here. There's also a tab about lots of different resources that we have at FRC to link you guys with, from mental health, from tutoring, to kind of social engagement, to getting funds for textbooks. There's lots of options. So that's a really important place to check out. So anyway, I'll have some different pages within each module that might link to, in a future weeks, videos to watch. They might link to, questions. They might link to all kinds of things. And then I'll always have a page at the bottom of each module that says the assignments for that week for that module. So if you open it up, you'll see your assignments for this week are to make a discussion post that introduces yourself to the fellow students in our class, to take what I'm calling a welcome or syllabus quiz, which is a short quiz that allows you to respond to different questions about the syllabus and student and academic resources that I have published here on the site. So this is a way for me to ensure that you understand the expectations of the class and also the resources that we have to support you. There's also some questions about you and your goals that help me be a more effective teacher. So that is required that you do that in the first week. And then finally, there's a time blocking activity, which asks you to make sure that you are setting up your time in an effective way. So mostly our assignments will be due at the end of each week on Sunday night. Certainly turn them in before if you don't want to be working over the weekend, but that's the last kind of deadline. And then for our discussion posts that we'll work on throughout the semester, your original post is actually due much earlier in the week. You will respond to a post, in this case, introduce yourself, by Wednesday night. And then you'll have the rest of the week to respond to other peers, and peers will have a chance to respond to you. So if we wait until Sunday to turn those in, then there's nothing for people to respond to. So those assignments will always kind of have a 2-part due date, Wednesday and Sunday. But besides that, Sunday is usually when things are going to be due. And this is how you can see all the assignments. So I'll go back to the modules for just 1 second and then say, again, in most weeks, you guys are going to be working from one module at a time. This first week was a little bit odd, where some of the content I'm breaking out into this new actually course content module. So there's actually one more page that you're going to be clicking on in Science and Environmental Basics here. That has an introduction video with some lecture slides, and there's no assignments for this part this first week, but I do want you to be caught up on watching this video and doing this learning in the textbook. So anyway, in future weeks, the modules will be laid out below this. I do want to point out briefly that there is no link over here on the left to quizzes or assignments. So sometimes students are looking for those links because it is possible to set those up. But I have found in the future that that actually confuses the issue. So if you just go into the modules every single time and look at the weekly module, you will be directed to any quizzes or assignments that need to be completed in that week. And I have found for my classes that that works best. So back to the homepage, this is what you're going to expect to see. You will also expect to see a little to-do list of assignments that are due in the near future for you, for this class or for other classes, if you're on the main dashboard. So that's another way to access assignments, but I really, really want you guys to be reading these weekly announcements and then working through the modules that I hope I have formatted in an effective way so that you guys can learn the information that you need and then see specifically what you need to be working on and turning in each week. Okay, please reach out with questions. I look forward to working with you guys. Take care. Bye.